was 10 times more difficult than it needed to be. A little bit of struggle. Bought this a while back, just now finally went to pick it up. It is, well, I'll tell you more about it here in a second. Let me get the rest of the trailer unloaded. The goal here is by the end of the video, we have this all rearranged, and the biggest marketplace purchase we've made in the past couple years, or year, I should say, the dump truck is parked up behind here. Yes, I mean, you probably recognize it. It's rail. It's some old rail. Look how much can you see how much the top of the rail is gnarled, curled? I don't know. See that? Pretty wild. Well used. Anyway, all that rail, 75 bucks. What a bargain. How could a fella pass that up? The purpose for that is I've been wanting to build a drag for the 304, kind of like a road drag, landscape drag, whatever you want to call it, that I can just clamp onto with the bucket and pull it and clean some stuff up. I've been keeping my eye out for some heavy, cheap steel. This is going on the YouTube yacht project. This is, well, it's just a big old gantry style crane. It's actually period accurate if I'm looking at it right. I don't know, there's two dates. There's a December 17th, 1907, and July 13th, 1909. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, we got this. This is gonna be mounted on the boat at some point. We're gonna rehab it, clean it up, paint it up, make it operational. It's more of a decor item than anything. But it'd just be really cool to have on the boat. It's gonna be a few months till we get to that, because that's not top priority, but it's hard to pass that up. I paid, I think, 200 bucks for that. We'll drop Mike's trailer off, Dirt Perfect, if you guys are watching him on YouTube. He always lets me use this anytime I need to haul stuff. And I always leave him like 20 bucks at the market. Nothing wrong with borrowing your friend's trailer from time to time. But tires are expensive, trailers are expensive. Wiring, chains, wear and tear, it all costs money, you know what I mean? Go give him some cash real quick. And then, oh, and we got some stuff in the back. All right, sneak into the world headquarters real quick. Picked up 2 IBC totes, no bladders, which is perfect because I don't really want the bladders anyway, I just want the cages. These are fantastic for storing parts and all kinds of stuff in. ready for Easter. And what we have here is a fantastic storage building. It's a great storage building, but a lot of stuff's on the ground, you know, and a lot of this stuff I don't really want on the ground. So as we see totes pop up, we've been buying them like that so we can kind of have stuff stored in here. And believe it or not, when all this is picked up, a fella can actually get the tractor in here with the forks. All right, so the technique to offload these is pretty technical. Just do that. Excellent. Couldn't imagine a better plan. Step. Steal some more Dirt Perfects equipment. It's my favorite pastime, honestly. No, I'm just kidding. I give him money. He'd let me do it for free, but I just can't. I'm not that fella. You know what I mean? Look at this. Is this a spoiler alert? Holy smokes. Huh? They even got the fancy pin shims on there, huh? That's nice. Hope they used metric. That you got to right there. Very good. Oh, look, praise the Lord. All right, here we go. Things are looking great. I thought about taking the backhoe, but this is a lot closer. All right, let me show you what we're getting and then we'll get it. Maybe I'll just get it first. It'll be a little tricky because of where I put them, but we'll try some balancing techniques here. So I'm selling all my backhoe buckets because now that we've got the 304, we're not going to be doing any more hoeing around on the old Ford 555. So I got a guy coming to get the 12 and the 30 today, and then another guy coming to get the 24 possibly today, later this week. Let's see if we can get these out of here. See if we can't just balance this one on one of these forks, get it a little further out. Let me try to manhandle that onto there. We can just balance enough to get her out of there. There we go. That's fine. We can flop her over and get inside of it now. Beautiful. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And we got her. And then we got to get the 30 on here at the same time, which we should be able to do. Some people asked about that boat. The neighbor parks that boat here, and then in turn he kind of mows and does around the gym in the summer for me. So that's what we call a pretty good trade. There we go. The 30, I think we can just scoop her up. Maybe. Oh yeah, there she is. Full of water. We'll take the water with us. Heck, what a deal, huh? There we go. Oh, perfect. That's good. Looks good. Well, maybe not. You know what? If it'll ride like that, it'll ride like that. And then if we can scoop the other one up, I'm fine with it. Let's see what happens here. One, two, three, lift. Yep. Back down here to an easy to load lot. We're gonna flop them up just so they're easy enough to load whenever that fella gets here. Oh, let's go see how hard it's gonna be to get this truck turned around facing the right way while we're waiting. This is what we're trying to get up to the shop. This is the ultimate end goal, get this thing to the shop. We're gonna bend some stuff, that's okay. Well, that's okay. You know, it doesn't run, so I'm not too concerned about that part. Not yet, anyway. You'll notice the buckets are gone. A fella from across the river came and picked them up. I had them listed for 200 bucks a piece, which is a pretty fair price for buckets if you're familiar with what they charge for buckets, but I didn't pay much for the backhoe, so I was okay to let them go for fairly cheap. Well, the fella showed up with this. He said, would you be interested in trading a little bit of cash? Well, I'll be honest. He said, would you be interested in a straight trade? And I said, with a little bit of cash. So we got a little cash and a functional gas-powered air compressor. When you're running off-grid like I am for the shop and a lot of the projects we do out in the woods, that is a tool. It's not what I expected today, but I'll take it. Let's see if we can get some air in this tire. There's a valve stem. Just crank it. All right, so here's the situation. I just helped Mike with a little bit of a project, and he's got just a hot minute. He's going to move an excavator real quick, then he's going to take the loader and he's going to help us get this thing shoved up the hill. So we're just going to get her buttoned up, some air in that tire, some loose articles stowed in the cabin. Oh God. Also just picked up this house on Marketplace, huh? Pretty good deal. Just kidding, we moved that out. Nerd Perfect's gonna have an awesome video on his channel. That's what we did this morning. River's coming up on the high end of the moderate flood stage, close to the major, so we had to pull a few of those lower line trailers out this morning. He's got the loader, and I think we got a little bit of a plan. We're just gonna hook some chains to these stake pockets. That way he can kind of lift the back end up. We don't have to worry about the brakes, and that gives him gives us a little freedom of movement as far as left to right.
You don't want to get too far ahead, too far above.
Yeah.
Is this Nerd Perfect towing and recovery?
It is. Okay, we've got questionable brakes. We've got some maple syrup in an emergency situation. Just so we can have that loose. Oh, I can actually turn. That's good. We got, hold on. Let's get this down. I think we got a radio for communication. Is right.
You
Ready.
ready?
Smooth so far.
Let's count as rear steer.
Yep. Oh yeah. Well, we're going. Oh, we're scooting now. We are scooting now. I don't know where we're scooting, but we're scooting.
Good.
So far. Oh yeah. On your left, there's a beautiful waterfall. Very nice. Wow. You just can't beat a nice country drive, you know? Just cruising through the countryside. Oh, he upshifted. Okay, here we go.
You already got that gravel pile. We had nosed up to that. We gotta move one of those gravel piles.
That'll work. So this truck, we're putting it on the back side of the shop. I need to get that bed cut up still, and I need to get this tractor out of the way, but the road we're sitting on right here, this is actually a shared road. There's an easement that runs back there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that stuff drug out of the way, this stone moved, and see if we can't at least go ahead and get it out of the road and out of sight, out of mind back here. I don't think my blade goes high enough to catch anything on the back, so we're gonna have to just shove it like this. Heck yeah, buddy. Very nice. We could cage the brakes so that they roll freely, or we could just shove them. You know? Dealer's choice. I am the dealer. I chose to shove them. Small chain, but it could potentially do the trick. Yeah, I don't have a good place to. All right, hold on. Let's hook it over here. Get a little help from the wheels up here. Well, this trailer is going to live over here on the edge like that. That'll give me room to get this thing cleaned off and torched. And now I can turn the excavator back that way, get the blade down, and get that drug back the rest of the way. Oh, that was close. I was like, you know what I better check? Where are you guys? Like, I better check that fuel tank before I pull too far. Whew. Gotta go forward. I need the front to come towards the barn, so do this. That is good for this exact moment in time. We'll go back further once we get that bed cut up and we get this cleaned up a little bit. It's gonna go back and then over and over like this. We're gonna kind of slide it over the pocket so we got room to work. But I'm out of time for this quick afternoon. We'll take the road drag and kind of polish up some of this mess I made in the road. And then some torch work's coming up. Let's see if we can just get that gate to pop off there like it is now. And hopefully we pull that and it releases the gate, she'll flop down. No surprise, this is all bound up, so we'll just torch it. That's what we want. These are some nice pins, and that gate's some nice steel. We're gonna cut the bottom of that bed's all right. The sides, the front, honestly, not great, but also not terrible. Let some of that water drain out. I guess I thought, I wasn't thinking. The inside of the bed, the way it attaches, I'm guessing right here is, yep, there's a welded seam right there. I'm gonna get this piece off. I gotta run all the way down that. I don't know if it's worth it at this point, to be honest. A fellow likes to be thrifty, but I might be flirting with that line between saving money and costing money. Decisions. We're just gonna scrap the whole thing. So we're really close to this awesome Facebook purchase, getting it over here to where we need to work on it. The tech manual I got for it came in yesterday. That's fantastic. We got some good steel to make it drag for the 304. We got that cool crane. We sold all 3 backhoe buckets and the dump truck hoist, which is in the back of my Ranger. I'm meeting a guy tomorrow, 2 mornings from now. He's already paid for it to get that hoist. So we got rid of some stuff. We got some cash. We got some cool material, and we're big steps closer to getting this thing up and going. Next video, framing on the YouTube yacht. The basement framing is 100% done, and the rest of the framing package showed up yesterday for it. So we'll be working on the upstairs framing. So hopefully that'll be the next video. And then maybe the video after that will be back on this thing, finishing, getting this area cleaned up and tearing this a little bit and see if we can't dig into it and find the problem of the non-running engine issue. Big issue, because it doesn't run. You get it. Anyway,